So today, class, we will be learning about claims, evidence, and appeals. Learn about these and use it in your essays.
Essays? What?
What do those words even mean?
First of all, ma'am, take your feet off my table. Respect my classroom.
Alright.
And to answer your question, claims is a main idea of a piece of writing. And that answers the question, what is the author trying to prove? And that also brings us to evidence, which the author uses to prove a claim. So he also does that, and he makes it appeals to ethos, logos, and pathos to justify their claim. So to make it more clear to you, I'm gonna use some sites or examples from the readings I assigned to you prior to this class. And the young lady that asked me it, young lady, no cell phones in my classroom.
Sorry.
You asked me a question, I'm trying to answer it. And so to the people who did read it, I am going to use examples to make it more clear for you. Referring to the articles that I gave you to read, the lies the professor told you. Hey, but professors don't lie.
BS.
Young lady, what's your name?
Sana.
Insana. Like I said, professors don't lie. Example of a claim that was made in this article was diversity, though idealized, is the non-existent at universities. So I would like a volunteer to read go to page 4 and read the second to last paragraph for me, please.
Me? I want to read it.
The proliferation of feminist-inspired courses does not stem from student interest. When I examined Harvard in 1996, for instance, I found that there were 540 economic majors, and yet there were only 52 economic classes listed in the school's program of study. Compare this to the women's study, where a mere 13 students majored in the field, yet had over 60 courses to choose from. The Cornell Review found that the average women's study course at the institution had 4 students enrolled. The story is much the same at other universities. The economics majors have less courses to choose from, despite outnumbering students majoring in women's studies by 28-1 at Yale and 23-1 at Penn. Clearly, it is supply, not demand, that is fueling the onslaught of the political correct curricula.
So good job reading. So class, that was evidence the author used to prove his claim. So now, what does that appeal to?
I don't know.
Insana, do you know, young lady, is that a phone I see in your hand? No phones allowed in my classroom, ma'am. So that example that we used appealed to logos. So logos is using logical statements and stats to prove a claim. So one of the articles that I had you guys read was Machiavelli's The Morals of the Prince. And another example is Machiavelli's The Morals of the Prince is the claim was the end justifies the means. So the evidence used in that is on page, let me see, page 835, where he appeals to ethos. The reference to Cyrus, Caesar, and Alexander. You guys understand?
I said I don't get it either.
So you guys can understand.
What is going on? What? What is he doing? What?
So class, my claim was I can dance. The evidence was I danced for you. So, and my appeal was pathos, you know, appealing to your emotions.
Like making us laugh.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I get it now.
You get
Me
it?
too. Thanks, Professor
You're
Kelvin.
welcome, class. Class dismissed.